Okay, everybody. So I have a confession. I have a really, really big confession. I have been in the closet. Yeah, I've been in the closet. As a matter of fact, I have been so far in the closet that I've been finding Christmas lights. Oh, yeah, I have been in the closet. I confess, I've been in the closet. Now, that's okay because while I was in the closet, I happened to stumble across this. Now, for those of you, for those, I'm just gonna let you get a good look at it there. Yeah, there it is, front and back and everything else. So, for those of you who don't know what this is, for those of you who are not quite as old as myself, this is called a Game Boy. This was before, Sega Genesis and all that high tech stuff. Um, Yeah, and for many years, I'm actually being serious. I'm not even joking, just for this video, just for the sake of a video. I'm not even kidding you guys. I actually thought that this thing had actually completely disappeared because I've actually been looking for my Game Boy because I knew I had it somewhere. Turns out it was in the closet. And now that we're at home and we have all this free time that we can, go through stuff and do some really deep cleaning, I found my Game Boy and I was so, so happy. Um, Now I used to have a lot of games for the Game Boy. I don't know whatever happened to them. The only game that I have remaining that I found with the Game Boy was Tetris. And there it is. Yeah. Oh yes, it's like some '90s nostalgia right here, or perhaps earlier because on the back of this Game Boy, the date it says 1989 Nintendo right there. Well, probably won't be able to see that. You probably won't be able to see that. But anyway, take my word for it. On the back it says 1989 Nintendo, and you can see the sticker here, and that's the original serial number on the Game Boy. Now, this was something that every kid had to have at the time in the late '80s, early '90s. The Game Boy came out probably I'm gonna say shortly before the original Nintendo NES that had the gun, and Duck Hunt and all that, and you'd shoot the ducks and then the things going up in the sky or whatever it was. On the back, there's the door. I just called it the door. I remember calling it the door. And you pop it off, and the original Game Boy took four AA batteries. I'm sure later models probably took something similar. And that's where you would put the batteries. And remember, I said that everybody had a Game Boy. My cousins, my siblings had Game Boy. My grandmother had a Game Boy. This was the thing to have. It was like if you had a game, anybody who was anybody had a Game Boy. But it's like nowadays an original Game Boy. It's sort of like a rare sight, and it's sort of nostalgic. And on the back, you see those initials KS, which is actually my real initials. Um, and that was my mom. And it's kind of faded off now. But my mother actually wrote my initials KS in permanent black marker on the back of this Game Boy because back in the day, it was common. Like your friends would want to use your Game Boy, your cousins, your siblings, everybody wanted to use the Game Boy, right? And just a couple of features. So I would have had this. I would have got this. Like I said, 1989 on the back. I would have got this one. It would have been very early '90s, so it would have been not too long after 1989 that I got this. Um, yeah, and for many, I'm so excited because for so many years I thought I'd actually lost it or it was stolen or something happened to it. So anyway, yeah, there's that. The only thing now, from what I hear, I don't know, but from what I've heard, these are actually quite valuable today if they're in working condition, which this one is. I did find some AA batteries that I had lying around, but they had already been used. And I put the batteries into the back of this. Now, before I was smart actually, before I put this in storage, I took the batteries out so that because over the years, if you leave batteries and stuff, the acid will leak out and it will damage the unit. I've left this stored or kept it stored over the years without the batteries in it, so that would not happen. So all the terminals on the bottom here, everything is still nice and clean and shiny inside because I took the batteries out. Now I did put some batteries in, and I took my Tetris game and I put it into the back, and you would, you know, slide the cartridge. You would slide the cartridge. Whoa, what am I doing? Where am I? There we go. Hold on. It's been a while. Okay, so anyway, you just you slide the cartridge into the back. Actually, I think this one might not be for this Game Boy because I think this was color. I think this was a later cartridge because this one actually doesn't seem to want to fit into the back of this. It's not going in, and I don't want to force it. But there was late, I mean, obviously there were other Game Boy models over the years. Yeah, but this Tetris cartridge does not seem to want to fit into this. So maybe this one came out later, because like I said, this is an old model. And the cartridges changed. They changed a little bit over the years. So anyway, but I did put the batteries in it, and I turned it on, and it did work. The only thing that I can see that might actually decrease the value of this particular one is if you look at it carefully from the side. If you take a look at it, there's the screen here, right? But over top of that screen, there was like a plastic protection thing that covered it. And over the years, the glue has come away from around here over the years. And when I finally found this today while I was in the closet, this screen, the plastic protective layer had actually popped off of it, and I wasn't able to find it. I don't know whatever happened to it, but I'm sure I can get, a screen to put over this. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. I thought this was so awesome when I found this Game Boy, and I'm so glad I did. And if you look at the bottom, so just a couple of features, those 1989 features. If you look at the bottom here, there's a little outlet right there, and that was for you to plug in your headphones if you wanted to listen to it with your headphones while you were playing, right? On the side, there's the volume button, and then on this side here. Now I used to use this a lot. I remember is that little tiny um, thing right here. That's actually a jack where you could plug in like a power adapter, and then you would plug that into the wall if you were using it. And I often did that when I was at home because these things actually, the AA batteries, you put 4 AA batteries in it, and the AA batteries, as I recall, they didn't last too long because you would be addicted to this thing and you'd be playing this thing, and you knew the batteries were running out because the little light right here, this little dot, would light up red, and it would just slowly start to fade out. And it's like the screen, you would be looking at it, trying to play it, and you had to look at it under a certain light, right? If you were going to actually see what you were doing. But as the batteries were diminishing, the screen would slowly fade out, you know. So when I was at home, if I was playing this, which was quite often, eventually I got an electrical adapter and I would hook it up that way. Now, interestingly enough, on the other side, there's a connection that says extension connector. Whatever that is, I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me. If you look at that, you'll see it there. It's like some sort of early USB port. Like if you if you look at it carefully, and this was 1989. So I mean, I don't know what this thing right here. this thing right here, I never did use it. I didn't use it because I never knew what it was for. I never had the cables for it. Maybe it plugged into the back of the TV or the Nintendo or something. I don't know. I never used it. Like we didn't have all these cables and everything that came along with it. We were just lucky to have the Game Boy and pop in a few AA batteries and there you go, you're on your way. So anyway, just thought I'd share that with you guys. I was so excited when I saw this today. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. So yeah, it's my Game Boy that I had when I was a kid in the early 90s. And yeah, apparently I still got it today. So I just thought that was kind of cool. And, we're sort of isolating ourselves with this whole COVID-19 thing. And I've been going through the closet and going through drawers and just finding things that I wasn't aware that still existed. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was just like a little, Nintendo video trivia thingy. So take care, everybody. Stay safe, and hope you enjoyed the video. There'll be more to come. And yeah, take care. Bye bye.